A News.
Now, have you noticed that President William Ruto has a new aide-de-camp? Well, Colonel Fabian Lengusuranga from the Armed Forces will be a common feature wherever the president goes. Colonel Lengusuranga now succeeds Brigadier Timothy Lekolol, who has been redeployed to Defense Headquarters. The new ADC will be assisted by Lieutenant Colonel Damaris Agneta, also from the Kenya Army. So what is the role of an ADC? Well, George Maringa informs us.
When he landed in the official military helicopter in Mathera, Nyeri County on Tuesday, President William Ruto had a new aide-de-camp, or simply ADC, Colonel Fabian Lengusuranga. Colonel Fabian succeeds Brigadier Lekolol, who was President Uhuru Kenyatta's aide-de-camp between July 2018 and September 2022, and who has now been promoted and deployed to the Department of Defense DoD headquarters. Lieutenant Colonel Agneta, on the other hand, takes over from Lieutenant Colonel Rachel Nduta of the Kenya Air Force, who has been promoted to the rank of Colonel and deployed to the Department of Defense headquarters. Nduta made history on August 17, 2018, when she was appointed Kenya's first female aide-de-camp by former President Uhuru Kenyatta. Aide-de-camp is a term borrowed from the French language. It literally means helper in the military camp. The holder of the position serves as an aide to a VVIP, in most cases a head of state or monarch. An ADC is a highly trained senior military officer who is required to be part of the president's itinerary at all times. In an exclusive interview with the former ADC, Colonel retired Geoffrey Kingangi, appointment of persons as ADCs to the president are unique.
People have these opinion, thinking that you go like lobbying to be appointed. Far from that. Far from that. I think the only time you volunteer in the military is when you get recruited. The rest of the time you wait for orders.
The former soldier argues that a lot is taken into consideration during such appointments, and his case was not any different.
It's a lot of matching to be done. You look at the demeanor and the character of the president, and you look for an officer who will match that character.
Besides the ceremonial tasks such as standing behind the president and opening car doors for the head of state, an aide-de-camp in Kenya has other duties. For instance, during Uhuru Kenyatta's tenure, Brigadier Timothy Stelu Lekolol was the detail leader, assistant detail leader, tactical commander, motorcade lead, advance lead, mobile agent, static agent, and protective intelligence agent. According to Simiyu Werunga, the executive director for Geneva Center for Africa Security, all Kenyan aides-de-camp held at least the rank of colonel. Unlike the position of the Chief of Defense Forces, he says, which rotates among senior military officers of the Kenya Navy, Kenya Air Force, or the Kenya Army, the aide-de-camp's background is immaterial when the president is selecting the serviceman for that position. A new president can choose to retain the current ADC or appoint a new one altogether. It should be noted that contrary to popular belief, an ADC is neither a bodyguard nor a personal assistant to the head of state. According to KDF's Strategic Communications Department, a president has the liberty to choose his or her aide-de-camp. Aide-de-camp is a principal military officer serving the president, I quote, and the ADC's roles include managing the president's diary and liaising with his or her main security team. The Defense Council can propose an aide-de-camp to the president, who has the last say on his preferred serviceman for that role. An ADC also has an office in State House.
So you have to be aware what is happening in the crowd at any one time. You have to be aware of the mood of the crowd. And you have to know whether you lessen the security or you tighten the security depending on the circumstances.
Colonel Fabian Lengusuranga, the new ADC, joined the army in 1999. He has served as Senior Special Forces Branch Commander. The second ADC, Lieutenant Colonel Damaris Agneta, was commissioned in 2003 and has been serving as the artillery officer. She has also served in the United Nations Military Observer Mission. The two will now work together, occupying the president's shadow to ensure his security as head of state and commander-in-chief of the defense forces. George Maringa, KTN News.
Let's take our fast break now. When we come back, we tell you details about Uganda's Lieutenant General Muhozi